All of the spotlights have little wheels on them now, and all of the directors have seats on them, but we're not through with the directors. Somehow this piece of photo etch has to be bent and then fastened on the top of the directors, each one of these three directors. Once again, the manual is not real clear, so a person has to kind of guess, but I think it has to be bent, and then you can see what appears to be like a little wheel right here. I don't know how that's supposed to go. One point of interest. Remember yesterday I was saying that one of those seat brackets went and pinged off? Well, this is where it ended up. I had already thrown out the others, and then I came across this by accident. I guess we may as well throw it out too. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that had I found it, before I kind of gave up, it might have encouraged me to continue on. But no, I don't think so. I think that our directors look fine the way they are. Now, before we continue on here, these little wheels, after we sprayed the whole thing some sort of shade of gray, one of the viewers had suggested paint these wheels. I think he said yellow. I don't know if I have any yellow, but I know I have red. And also, maybe a good idea might be I could paint these seats, a different color as well. Maybe black. I don't know. They just make them stand out a little bit against the director. All right. Oh, this thing here. How is that going to go? Now, what I'm looking at here is the fold-out that came with Stefan Drambinski's book on the hood. And somebody had mentioned that this little part that we're working on right now, that we're trying to figure out what is that photo etch piece. Do I really need this? Okay. That photo etch piece, I was mentioning that it looked like it had a wheel in it. Well, now that I look at it, and I found a drawing of it, it looks nothing. Well, I'll show you after. The drawing here looks nothing like what we're making, but at least now I know what that wheel is. It's not a wheel. Let me get rid of this. Okay, I've found it in here, and it's not a wheel. It's actually a gun sight, not an optical one, but the old-fashioned kind. It's sort of like looking at a dartboard folded up, and you've probably seen footage. Especially in when the kamikaze planes were coming in at the aircraft carriers, and the guys would be sitting behind their guns there, and they'd be looking through this round thing that looked like a dartboard, without the backing, of course. It was a part of a gun sight. So now I know what it is. I'll bring the camera in and I'll show you here. But like I say, it looks nothing like what we're making here. So. Now this makes sense, but that's okay. At least it's got the seats around it, and it's kind of right. Earlier this morning, I went on Steve's site, and he's doing the hood as well. Except, unfortunately for me, he's doing the. Fortunately for everybody else, but unfortunately for me, he's doing the Pontos detailing kit, and he's going into great detail. So I sort of scrubbed through some of his videos, hoping to see what what he did with this part, and as near as I can tell, he hasn't got to it yet. By the way, I know I talked about this before. If you want to watch sort of a tutorial on how to build the Trumpeter's 200 scale hood, you just gotta watch his site. It's just absolutely excellent. It's not like me. I might all of a sudden I might take you out and show you feeding the rabbits or some crazy thing like that. With me, it's sort of a diary, sort of a vlog, you might say. This is what I did today. And it's basically about the model ship. And I know I've talked about this before, but every once in a while there's a new viewer that's just started watching. And they wonder what's going on here. Well, that's what this is. This is not a tutorial on how to build Trumpeter's 200 scale HMS model hood. It's about the hood. But anyway, yeah, check out Steve's channel. I think he's taking some time off for Christmas. I'm guessing at the rate he's going, he'll probably be done, I'm guessing in about 6 months. At the rate I'm going, I'm not going to get done. I gotta push the stop button. Anyway, I'm going to go grab the camera and I'm going to move you in and I'll show you here. Now I know that some of this scene is going to be a little bit overexposed, but I've done that so that the detailing in the dark areas will show up a little bit better. And here's the module that we're working on. Now you can see the front here is this front right here. Now where's my tweezers? Okay. So this is the pom-pom director. It's going to go right here. And we're going to be trying to mount a little piece of photo etch on the top there. Now you can see there's a seat right here, a seat right here. There's probably, when we move up and we look at it from the other side in a second here, you'll see there's a seat on the other side there. I am not seeing a seat on the back, unless this is supposed to be some sort of a seat, but that almost appears to be more like something you'd stand on. Anyway, you would view. Okay, now here is that viewfinder or site that I was talking about, that we're going to be making right now. And I'm going to just slide up. Move this up here a little bit. Here's our site. Now you can see the way it's supposed to go. If I turn this around like this, it'll kind of make a little bit more sense. Yeah. Okay, so now we know what we're making here. So I know that the thing is going to be vertical, not horizontal. Okay, our little piece here, A43. Now I want to bend this right the first time, because my experience is that you can bend it wrong and straighten it out and bend it maybe the other way, but you can only do that maybe once, and if you're lucky you can make a mistake twice. But if you bend this stuff too much, metal fatigue takes over and it'll break off on you. So it really helps to know now that round disc part goes up and down this way, not horizontal this way. Okay, I'll put the macro lens on and we'll try and bend it the way the photo etch lines or detents or whatever you want to call it already are. Okay, we're in about as close as I can get without putting on the super macro. And as you can see, I've got it more or less right in the center of Andy's bender here. And if we have it this way, we can't tell where it is we're supposed to bend it. However, let's see if I can just turn it over here without pinging it off into oblivion. We'll just try and turn it over. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking that thing is not going to survive to the ship case. Anyway, now, if you notice right here and right here, there's a little mark, a little indentation where we are supposed to bend it. And we are probably supposed to bend it towards the indentation. I don't know if it would be in 90 degrees or what. We'll just have to see. These pieces right here, this one, and this one right here, that's supposed to fasten onto a little place that you can almost not see on the plastic part. Okay, should I maybe open this up a little bit and take advantage of the fact that we're on the bender here? I know when I was doing those seat brackets, I didn't use the bender, just sort of did them by hand. Okay, just put this down here a little bit. Don't want to go too tight or we're going to pinch it right off. Maybe I can just use the hobby knife here and just sort of get underneath very carefully here. This may not have been the best way to have done this, but it seems to be working. Okay, now we're going to go up. If we can, just get underneath there. Okay, that's about as far as we can go. It might need to be straightened out just a little bit here. Yeah, we're going to have to bend it just... Oh my goodness, this is so fragile. Okay, now how am I going to be able to get a hold of that? Like this one that I'm touching right now is kind of leaning towards me. I want to make it so that it's straight up and down. Where's my tweezers? Now, maybe these flat tweezers would be better. See if I hold it down very carefully. Maybe the pointing device might be better. That's some better, isn't it? Okay, now if we drop that down on top of the plastic part, is our gun sight going to be horizontal, or is it going to be vertical? We want it vertical. Okay, I just noticed that I've already broken off one of my little seats here, and I'll glue it on later because I've got everything positioned to get our sight in place. So I'll work on that later. Anyway, the guy on this seat that I haven't broken off yet is the one who would be looking through the sight. In other words, this is the back of the director. Everything looks out this way. And the guy sitting on the front seat, he would be looking into some sort of optics that would look through this, which is supposed to be like part of a binocular. At least that's what I'm getting out of it. Okay. Now how do I get this? Okay. I do believe, I'll check the manual, it's either supposed to go on like this, or it's supposed to turn 180 degrees and go like this. Oh, no, actually it goes It doesn't go up here. It goes back here. I think that it goes like this. Yeah, it does. Okay. So I think we pretty much got it bent at the right angle and everything. It's just a case now of how do I get a little tiny dollop of glue right here and a little right here, and then get those things down in there. Now, this thing is so delicate that I can imagine that even when I spray it with the airbrush, I'm going to have to watch that the wind doesn't brush it off. Okay, let me get that seat glued back on here. Oh my goodness, I knew this was going to happen. Now, it appears that what has happened here is I have broken the tongue off of this seat bracket that we glued on, and yet I didn't find it when I was scraping the CA off of the little round seat thing here. Anyway, let's just give this a whirl here. And I don't want to press the blue tack onto it too hard or it won't let go. Alright. Okay, where's my poking device here? Okay, let's give that a few minutes. Okay, I said we'd leave it for a minute or two, but actually it's probably over an hour. Let's get ourselves lined up here and try and do a dry run so that later on when I do the real thing, I don't suddenly find that I can't find my tweezers or something. Alright, now, how am I going to pick this up? Guess you notice the sun is trying to come out today. Maybe that's not the best way. If I hold it more like this. I will put the macro lens back on. But we gotta try and get that. Okay, I gotta angle myself around a little bit, so I will have to move the camera, of course. Yeah, let me get the macro lens on, and we'll give this another try. Okay, now the angle is not quite right. See if I can just move it more like this. Okay, I do believe it's supposed to go pretty much like that. It might be better if I was to have the tweezers holding it by the round sight, and I'd be able to see better. Just let me readjust here. Okay, now if I can just sort of twist it around a little bit here. Oh, the other way. Now, will this work better? Gotta steady myself a little better. There, this works better. Okay, I do believe that the spacing is almost perfect. Should it be maybe coming back a little bit more like this, aimed more up? Okay, let's just sort of hold on to it with my tweezers. Now, put a little dollop right there, and a little dollop right there. Now, is this gonna work? What I need is somebody else to spray some curing agent on it when I get it in the right spot. Well, I could even get it to just balance there. Maybe if I had my rubber hose. Huh. Okay, I'm going to let that cure, and then I'm going to reinforce it a little bit. Okay, I think my voice will last for another couple of minutes. For anybody that did not know what I was doing there with this rubber hose, I don't have any curing agent. I ran out, but I did find that moisture will activate the CA glue, not as fast as curing agent, but like for instance, if you get a drop of CA glue on your finger, the moisture in your finger and the protein and everything that's on there, the grease, it will activate how fast it'll work, right? Well, if you can get moisture from your breath, so I stick one end in my mouth and the other end up here, and the moist air blowing over the CA glue, it does seem to, promote curing. Anyway, I don't care if you know this, probably about 9 years ago, I had what is called a colon resection. I had colon cancer, and they took a chunk out of me, and probably after about a few days when I was ready to leave the hospital, they're busy pulling tubes out of me, and I think this was from an IV line, and they threw everything into the garbage. So I took it out of the garbage and put it with my stuff, and when I came home I brought it with me. I don't think that's stealing. They were going to throw it out anyway, right? So, So down in my workshop I got a whole bunch of hose of different diameters. One of the hoses is really, really small. It actually went into my spine for epidural. And really tiny little hose. I probably will never need it, but if I ever need a really tiny little rubber hose, I've got one. And I've got a bunch of this kind of stuff from IV line and stuff. Anyway, that's what this is all about, just in case somebody was wondering what I was doing there. Now, I've got it up just a little bit higher here, so that I can maybe get at it a little different. And all I want to do is just reinforce those joints so that in the event I accidentally bump this, or it falls off onto the table or something like that, it's not going to break off, it's going to bend. And then I have a chance to straighten it out. If it breaks off, then I got to do this all over again. So let's just see if we can't reinforce that. I'll put the macro lens back on. Okay, just a little bit here. I just want it to be I don't want it to be seen with the naked eye. Get a little bit more on here. Come in from this angle here this time. Just touch it from the side. Okay. Once again, you can see it better than I can. Let me look in the monitor. Oh yeah, I think if that hardens, if the things get bent over to the side one way or the other, it shouldn't break off. And once it's all painted, I wonder if maybe I could paint that little gun sight a different color too. I have these wonderful ideas, and then when I forget to do them, the next thing I know, the Bismarck is in its case, or in this case, it'll be the hood. Okay, let's just leave well enough alone here. I just finished sorting out those last few scenes that you saw. And, as you probably already noticed, like yesterday's video was kind of short, today's is kind of long. There's just no rhyme nor reason to it. Well, it depends on how it goes. Anyway, let's just slip the macro lens on here, and we'll take a nice close look. I'll spin this around and we'll see how it came out. Well, it appears that it needs a slight straightening up there. Just sort of lean those supports slightly to the right. Let's turn it around here and see what it looks like from the other way. Well, just very slightly. Yeah, maybe once again I should be leaving well enough alone here. Alright. I think that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.